Welcome to Take 5, a podcast brought to you by Newleaf Training and Development. Each edition is an inspiring interview with a leader worth listening to. Enjoy.
Hey, I'm Paul Butler. I'm one of the client partners at Newleaf Training and Development, and I'm so delighted to be joined today by Lynn Hounsley, who is the president and CEO of a company called Integrity HR. Lynn, can you believe it? For 19 years now here at Newleaf, we've focused on our core purpose of just simply helping people and organizations better manage themselves, lead others, and grow business acumen. I just wondered, what are your recommended best practices to help people and organizations be their best? But please do start, though, by telling us a little bit more about your organization, what you do, and who you serve. So over to you, Lynn, and I'll wrap it up when you're done.
Well, thank you so much, Paul, for having me on your podcast. I'm honored. Thank you. I started Integrity HR actually 17 years this month. So I think with that in mind, one of the reasons I started it was just to help that small business owner with their HR needs, and it's grown from there. So I help small to medium-sized businesses delivers like strategic HR solutions, but that's going to be anything from crafting employee policies to workplace culture to even going through those complex employee relations issues that come up from time to time quite a bit. So we want to make sure that we just service the client because they're all going to have their own unique needs. So I just recently added a new colleague to my business. Her name is Alicia Moody, and she is up in Washington State. So I have actually started to provide services in Washington, Southern California. However, a lot of my clients are having satellite facilities all over the US. So with that in mind, tipping my toe into the rest of the nation, so to speak. So we understand that HR is not this one size fits all type of thing. So, we want to work with the organizations to help them with that, provide them with the peace and the clarity and the confidence, and just so that we help them with their people side of the business. So that's our mission, is to, just as Newleaf does, we want to help organizations align their people practices with their business strategies. So that's Integrity HR in a nutshell. So you had asked me to share some of the best practices about, people and organizations and how we can get them to perform at their highest potential. And so the things I'm going to mention, they're not just strategies. They're more like commitments on, how we lead, communicate, and grow. And so I've got 4 of them that I came up with that I was thinking would be really important to share with everyone. And it would be clarity, like your purpose, the value and the expectation of your organization, and investing in your people, building a culture of feedback, embracing flexibility and accountability. And so when we go back and start with that clarity part, the foundation of high performance is just that, clarity. People thrive when they know and they understand why they're there. Why it matters. Why am I working in the mailroom, and what's my purpose in working in the mailroom? Or how can I work with this company as a receptionist, or I'm an engineer, where do I fit in with this business? And when everybody understands that big picture of their role, it helps them align, and it just provides the motivation follows naturally. But then I also wanted to talk about investing in your people. And that comes from, either development and recognition. So, the best organizations prioritize their people's growth. And by investing in training, like Newleaf and myself, coaching, mentorship, opportunities and even those stretch assignments, giving someone a little bit something else just for their growth potential. But development's not just about skill. So it's about creating a culture where people feel seen and appreciated. Recognition, both formal and informal, is like one of the simplest yet powerful drivers of engagement. And you can use an individual development plan. You can, encourage mentorship, peer coaching. Just that would help to build some relationships and some growth. Even shout outs in team meetings, handwritten notes, even just something, a shout out in a Teams meeting or in Slack or whatever software the organization uses. When people feel valued, they give their best. And so, along with investing in your people, we want to build that culture of feedback and trust. And of course, the old style of leadership, meaning the top down command and control, it's really not that effective in today's workplace. So the organizations that thrive are those that get feedback, and the feedback flows, it's up and down or across. And that feedback only works though when there's trust. That trust has to exist. So employees expect that. Nowadays, employees expect that collaboration, that transparency, and a voice, and leaders need to model themselves and have that vulnerability, actively listen, and, respond with empathy. So I use the term psychologically safe environment, but I mean that truthfully, because that empowers people to speak but share ideas. It also helps when people will actually admit their mistakes. I mean, can you imagine an employee actually admitting, oh yeah, I did make that mistake? But that's only going to exist if they feel safe in doing so. And so that's going to fuel that innovation and that adaptability that employees have. So, that's going to help as well. And along with that culture and feedback and trust, I have to give a shout out to communication. If you think you're not communicating enough, you need to communicate more. And it's the sad story of the employee that worked for a company for 6 months, and at their exit interview said, "Why are you leaving?" And said, "Well, I started 6 months ago, and no manager has reached out to me. I've had no training. No one talked to me. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know what my purpose is." That's sad. So, again, that communication is key. And I'm going to also go into that, embracing that flexibility and the accountability. I mean, every day we have that changing work environment. Everything's constantly changing. And, the best organizations, they're agile. They trust their people to work flexibly, but they also hold them accountable. So there's got to be that balance, between the autonomy and the responsibility for people to do their best work. And when they do that, then they can deliver some strong results. And that all four of these areas, they all kind of weave into each other. So that clarity of the purpose, the investing in your people, the culture of feedback, trust, and the flexibility, all, come together. And we understand that, helping people and helping organizations be their best, it's, again, kind of going back to my business, it's not a one size all strategy. I mean, we could sit here all day and talk for hours about the strategies to use. It's not all going to fit every organization. Every organization has to look at their culture and what they provide, and then create those right conditions where they have that clarity, that growth, that trust, and that ownership, And so when we get those right, then that's when people can thrive and performance follows. So those were the main things that I wanted to cover and share with everyone today.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lynn. I just love those kind of what I would call timeless, universal principles that you spoke about there, these kind of objective truths about how to bring out the best of organizations. And again, thanks so much for taking a few minutes with us today, Lynn. And if I could, just a message out to the subscribers to keep an eye on the events page, for the activities we have going on throughout the course of the year, most of which are available for free for subscribers. Lynn, could I offer you a virtual high five?
Absolutely. Ooh, we did it.
Lynn, thanks ever so much. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes with us.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynn.
Take care. Bye.
I hope you found that interview useful, and if you did, feel free to rate, review, and share this podcast. We'll be back next week with another episode, and we also invite you to check out our other weekly podcast, Going the Extra Mile, which is sure to lift your spirit and encourage you in today's working world. Bye for now.